Founded in 1939, Desert Financial Credit Union offers checking and savings accounts, auto, home, and personal loans. Desert Financial Credit Union is located at 300 North Beeline Highway, inside Walmart, and their number is 602-433-7000.
And we'd like to thank Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight Program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio. Happy Hump Day. It is Wednesday and another beautiful day out there. Also want to remind everyone that the Hash Knife Pony Express is going to be riding into Payson to the Payson Post Office at 4:45 today. It's their 66th annual ride, so hopefully you can make it out and support them. Come see this great part of Payson and Arizona history coming into Payson again, riding into Payson. 4:45 today at the Payson Post Office. Hope to see you out there. Well, on today's Community Spotlight program, we're going to be talking about something everyone loves: taxes. Tax preparation. And we know that that last statement definitely is not true, but there are a couple ladies in the studio that make this a whole lot easier for people in Rim Country. They are Joanne Conlin and Diane Huebner. Good morning to both of you ladies.
Good morning, Chris.
And we're going to be talking about tax preparation services that are provided through AARP. And there's probably people in the community, I'm sure you come across this each year because you've been doing it for a few years now, haven't you, Diane?
I think this is my 9th year.
9th year, wow. So do you still, or each year, are there people that say, wow, we didn't know that you did this?
Yes, it's always surprising to me how many people come in and say, we didn't know you were here last year. We paid a lot of money to get our taxes done, and if we'd known you were here, we would have been here. So.
Wow. So yes, it's good. I know. I think you were on the program last year, a Community Spotlight program, once or maybe twice before. But I know we've been trying to help get this message out because it's great for individuals. Now, age limits. Is there an age limit on this?
There is no age limit. Anybody who has to file taxes is welcome to come and get their taxes done for free.
Wow. So again, a great service that is offered to members of the community. Now, is this for anyone in Payson, in Rim Country, in Arizona? How does that work?
We've had people come up from Mesa.
Wow.
To have their taxes done. They were former Payson residents, but people. I mean, if you're doing Arizona taxes, we can help you. Even if you have out-of-state taxes, there's a new program now that allows us to do out-of-state taxes if your state is participating in the AARP Foundation program.
Wow. So again, a great resource, I guess. To start, maybe we should let people know how they can get signed up, how they go about setting this up.
It's very easy. There's a number to call.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make an appointment to have your taxes done, and there is a questionnaire that has to be filled out. So the phone number is 928-487-1174. And if you call that number, they will tell you where you can get the questionnaires, which you can get at the Payson Senior Center on Main Street, the Pine Library, the Overguard Senior Center, or at the Elks Club. And we will be at the Elks Club from February 6th through April 10th. We'll be there every Tuesday and Wednesday from 9 to 4. So when you make your appointment, choose some day between Tuesday and Wednesday, but very easy to get to. The Elks Lodge at 1206 North Beeline Road in Payson.
In Payson. There you go, and again, you do not have to be a Payson resident. There are not any age restrictions. Even though this is sponsored by AARP, it is not only available or offered to AARP members or those that qualify. So this is great, it's for all ages. Now, how, 9 years is how long you said you've been doing this, Diane. Do you know how long this has been offered in Payson?
Well, it was around for several years before I started, so I'm sure it's more than 15 years now.
Wow. And how long have you been involved, Joanne?
Last year was my first year.
Oh, there we go.
So I'm a newbie, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's just a great service to offer people. It's surprising how many people pay for and to get their taxes done when we can do them for free. We can't do the really complicated taxes, but we can do many people's taxes. And when you call for the appointment, you can ask them some questions to see if you're a fit, and the questionnaire also helps with that.
Okay. And now, how many people are involved in this program, or how many, I believe volunteers, everyone is a volunteer?
Volunteers, I think we have 15 volunteers working those 2 days. So.
Wow. And now, what are, I guess, the backgrounds of these volunteers? Is everyone that volunteers, or if you're volunteering, do you have to be a former accountant, CPA?
I was not a former accountant. I was a computer programmer, so I had some knowledge of numbers, but we have all sorts of people who used to manage offices, and we do have some bookkeepers and like that. We have a college professor who taught counseling, so no numbers there, but we have a week of training in January where they refresh our memories on how to do taxes for the AARP Foundation, and then we start the new volunteers out with easy returns.
Gotcha.
A Arizona property tax credit is like 1 page or something, and then as they get more confidence, we give them the harder things to do, and they end up being able to do almost every kind of taxes except the ones that we are not allowed to do.
Gotcha.
And we do have to take an IRS test to be certified. So it is, with the training, there's a lot of homework that we have to do, proficiency exams, and then the IRS test to make sure that we are capable of doing the returns. So I want people to feel confident that whoever is doing their return is qualified, and not only there are individuals who will do their return, but then we have reviewers who have many years' experience in this, and they are very good at, if there is a mistake, they're very good at catching it. So there's a lot of oversight, and we take it very seriously. We don't want any mistakes on anybody's returns.
Oh, yes, and so there's a 1-week training, you say, and that's every year that all of the volunteers or anyone that is doing tax returns has to attend or has to go through. Do you find, aren't there a lot of just changes or to taxes or to like tax laws? Or?
Some years there are more changes than others. There weren't a lot this year.
Gotcha.
That affected us. So this year was relatively easy, but there have been years when they were still changing the laws in January while we were training, and that was interesting that year. But it doesn't usually happen because they know they have to get us trained before we can do taxes, and taxes start, well, for us, February 6th. So, we hope there's no more changes, but there could be some still.
Yeah, it could happen, huh?
Yeah, good.
Well, again, if you're just tuning in or just watching us on our Facebook Live, talking with Joanne Conlin and Diane Huebner, and they both volunteer with AARP, their tax preparation services that are performed right here in Payson, and it's at the Elks Lodge, right? And now, are there any other locations that you have, that you do this, or that you set up appointments? Or is it just the Elks Lodge?
It's at the Elks Lodge,
Okay.
and if you forgot the number, 928-487-1174, drop by the Elks Lodge Tuesday or Wednesday of every week between February 6th and April 10th, 9 to 4. You can pick up the questionnaire, get an appointment set up, and it's pretty easy to get done. And some people actually fill out the questionnaire, and if it's a slow day, and they can get in.
We will accept walk-ins if we're not overbooked.
Mhm.
Okay.
Depending on how many volunteers we have on a given day and how many appointments we've already made, there may be room for walk-ins, but we prefer appointments.
Mhm.
Okay. And again, this begins February 6th and runs through April 10th, and that's every Tuesday and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Payson Elks Lodge, and that's 1206 North Beeline Road or Beeline Highway. Can't miss it, right there off the circle, the roundabout there at Airport and 87. So again, a great opportunity to have your taxes done for free. And this is available to anybody of any age, but there are some tax returns you said that you cannot do.
Yeah, for example, if you're
Yes.
self-employed,
Oh, okay.
we can do your taxes unless you hire other people. We cannot do your self-employment taxes in that case. We
Okay.
cannot do solar installations.
Mm.
That's a state restriction that we can't do.
Gotcha.
And there are, if you have a K-1, which is a very rare form, some K-1s we can do, some we can't. And it's too complicated to explain which ones we can't. You're gonna have to bring them in, and we'll take a look at them and try to figure out to the best of our ability whether we can do it. There's some other rare, very rare things that we can do. Now, this year, there's a Arizona family credit that has been sent out to everyone everyone who is a taxpayer in Arizona with children. And it's not taxable to the state of Arizona, but it is taxable by the federal government. So we're gonna have to handle those as special cases, but we can do your federal and Arizona taxes in that case, if you got that check, credit, whatever it was.
Gotcha. And again, you can fill out an application and you will, I guess, be told whether or not your taxes can be done through these services or not when you fill out that application.
We have someone who will review the application and hopefully catch it if you can't have your taxes done, because we don't want to spend our time doing your taxes if it then gets to the reviewer and the reviewer says, we can't do this.
Yeah.
So hopefully the first person that sees your taxes will be able to catch it if there's any, or even before that, if you talk to people that are there, they may be able to say, no, sorry.
Okay.
We really like to help everybody, but there are some that we are just not allowed to do, so.
Mm-hmm. So last year, approximately how many returns were you able to do?
I think it was over 400. I know we gave out over 500 questionnaires, but we didn't get everybody, well, we couldn't do all of them, and then not everybody got back with their filled out questionnaire before the deadline last year, so. And we do usually fill up, like April 6th, we will not be taking new appointments unless it's a really easy, you know, it's just a W-2 or something. We could do that on April 6th, but mostly we're just giving people back returns that we've already done. For most people, it's a one-day process. You come in with your completed questionnaire, we fill out your return, we review it, and we will send it off to the IRS that same day. Other ones that are a little longer or something, we may need a week to do, so depending upon how complicated your return is, it will either take a day or a week, or maybe even longer if you don't have all your tax documents yet, and you come in and we go, well, we can't send it in because you're not done, so.
Yeah. It is important that people try to gather up as many of their documents as they can, and if they check what they had last year for support documentation, look for, unless it's not applicable anymore, it's really good if they can have it, because unfortunately we've had to send some people home, and it seems a lot to do with the investor broker statements. They don't pay attention and not looking for the year-end statements that's got all the information that we need. So, and then they have to call their broker, and then they have to wait to get it emailed or mailed to them. And usually I would say the average time, if you have everything and it's pretty much a normal standard return, I would say what, an hour, 2 hours is what you're in there.
Yeah,
It's not like an all-day process. But if you're ready, if you have everything prepared, and it's really nice if you've already done it, because a lot of information rolls over from year to year. So it takes less time for us to enter all of the basic information. So it's a very nice, I really like the program. It's very easy to work, and it really prompts you to ask people questions and to make sure that we're doing it right for the person.
Gotcha. Now, this program, is it a AARP program or IRS program?
It's IRS. It's called Tax Slayer, and I believe it's IRS.
I think it's a purchase program. It's been tailored slightly for AARP Foundation, but it's like any other tax program.
Gotcha. Okay. And now, are there a lot of other communities or areas that this program is offered, that there's volunteers for AARP that offer it to residents?
Tucson and Phoenix are big centers for many different sites. There's not as many as there was before COVID, I don't think, because we've lost a lot of volunteers. Not because of COVID, but because they just got too old during COVID to come back and do this anymore. There's really no age limit, but there's a certain point where your brain doesn't work quite as well as it used to. And so they go, gee, I don't want to be doing other people's taxes. It's hard enough to do my own, you know. So we do have a new policy this year. The Arizona credits, where you can donate to the public schools, private schools, foster families, things like that, in lieu of paying Arizona state credits. Always before we took your word that you were going to walk out of there and write a check to these people. We're not going to be allowed to do that this year. We must have your receipt from the charity that you are donating to. So if you come in and find out you owe $109 and you want to write a check to Payson Schools, you'll have to go and write that check, take it to the schools, and bring us back your receipt before we can file your taxes. So that's a new policy this year, and I we don't know how well that's going to work for people who are just used to waiting until their taxes are done and writing a check and not worrying about it anymore.
And that's the first year, this is the first year that
That
we're
we're doing
implementing
that.
Could they, while they're at the Elks, can they do it online? And that way you can see the receipt right away?
If the people that you're donating to have online processes like that, then I believe we can use the online, because we'll do online brokerage statements if we can read them, and online social security things if we can read them. So if you have an online receipt, we could probably look at that too.
So that would be easy to do.
And that's good. I think probably the majority, if not all, of those nonprofits that have that ability, or that you can do the tax credit for, you can donate online through their website, where they have a donate now button and so on, to where you would get emailed a receipt right away. So that's nice. Hopefully that doesn't deter people or keep people from doing that because of having to show that, for their taxes. And that would be the case wherever they go then. So if they're having their taxes done somewhere else, they have an accountant they're using, that's something that all of us, everyone is going to have to be prepared for or to do? Or is it just...
Well, it's an AARP Foundation requirement in Arizona. I'm not sure whether accountants will require it or not.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, I can't speak to that. Well, that's interesting. And that's, I think, something 400. 400 returns. That's quite a few. And I know, has that number, is that higher than before COVID? Lower?
It's down from COVID because before COVID we didn't take appointments, and we'd have 60 people sitting around the Elks all day long waiting to get their taxes done.
Gotcha.
And COVID forced us to go to appointments, and we really, the taxpayers really like not having to spend all day sitting at the Elks waiting to get their taxes done like they used to.
Yes.
So we're handling fewer people, but we're having a better time doing it, so it's...
Yeah, not so much of a madhouse, I guess,
right.
with, wow, up to 60 people just, waiting. And it, that puts pressure on all of the volunteers and the tax preparers, because you want to serve as many people and get as many people in as you can, but you also want to make sure everything's correct and take your time and make sure you're doing it right for each person. So I think that would be hard when you look out and you see, wow, there's still 40 people out there. Oh boy, we better get going. So that's good. It sounds like, yeah, the appointments have been better for everyone.
I think so, except for the people who don't get an appointment because they didn't call in time. So call early. Well,
Yes.
call as soon as you have all your tax documents and have picked up your interview sheet from the Elks or the other places that they're available. And don't wait till the last minute.
And again, that phone number is 928-487-1174. Or you can drop by the Payson Elks Lodge, and that's at 1206 North Beeline Highway, and that's every Tuesday and Wednesday starting February 6th and through April 10th. But again, you don't want to wait too long. I think you said, Diane, April 6th is kind of when you look at, the cutoff there.
It's April 10th, and that's a Wednesday, so we will do appointments on the 9th.
Okay.
But we will,
Yeah, so the 8th, 9th, that week, that's waiting too long. So, again, this is a free service. So you want to get signed up early. And there are applications at the Pace and Elks Lodge that you can fill out to make sure you qualify for this service. Again, not everyone qualifies for the service. Would you say the majority do?
Oh, definitely,
Okay,
yes.
majority do, and there is not a age limit. This is offered by AARP, but you do not have to be a AARP member. You don't have to be a member of the Pace and Elks Lodge. But if you are paying taxes and you're an Arizona resident, again, it isn't just for Payson residents, but you can be coming from Pine Strawberry, Tonto Basin, wherever, in Rim Country, to take advantage of this great service. So anything else
Well,
you'd like to add, Joanne?
I want to tell people that if you forgot to do your taxes last year, we can do taxes for the last 3 tax years.
Okay.
So that's important. Or if you have to do an amendment on a return, we can do that also, as long as it's the last 3 years. So don't be shy, and we want to help you out, and for everyone, and just make sure that you come in, and we'll do our best to help you.
All right. And again, get that application filled out. You can pick it up at the Pace and Elks Lodge. That's starting February 6th, every Tuesday and Wednesday, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the number to call for more information or to set up an appointment is 928-487-1174. And this, again, is sponsored by the AARP Foundation Tax Aid. All right, well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, you're very, very welcome. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. It's time to get back to the music here on KRIM with some Chicago, Billy Joel, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
Okay, thank you very much.
Perfect, there you go. All right, thank you, guys. See ya.